It's similar with like the law of large amounts of money, right? It's a lot easier to make a lot of money when you're talking about smaller amounts, like millions of dollars. But as Warren Buffett always says, it's much more difficult as you get hundreds of billions of dollars to have any sort of returns. So that concept definitely could apply over to company size or I think it's actually the opposite with social following, but with company size, that may be true. With social followings, it applies more to like a compounding concept, right? Just more and
Yeah.
more people, word of mouth, algorithms, watch times, people sending it, people sharing it. Then once you hit a certain point, people are writing stories about you because anything you do is noteworthy. MrBeast, the way that he has his 7, 10 different channels, languaged into 30, 20, 10 different languages. I don't know how many he does, but that's interesting because it's all his style, but I'm sure it's different people producing it. And there's no way that he actually hand touches every single piece of content that goes out. But again,
No.
it is all still his face IP, as you said.
I think what he's doing, if I ever learned something from that, is that I'm just going to use the word pilot producing, but like he's pilot producing these channels. So he's probably involved in the concept and the idea, and then in the first few episodes, to really nail it down. And then his job or his, really close team that he trusts is like perfecting and training the teams to keep the same style and format. And so it's almost like other versions of MrBeast are working on these projects. And it's the same thing here at Sunday. Like we had 3 employees, 6 months ago when we started, and maybe we're at like 6. It's like and there's so many things that we could scale, but like it's probably the hardest part. Like to keep that quality control is,
Yeah.
I spend most of my time either bringing visions to life, just from mind to paper, or I am in meetings, or I am just training. I'm just training. I'm sitting with teams, and I'm always figuring out a new thing in the company with the whole team, so that they're constantly seeing like, how am I even troubleshooting this situation? How am I building this from idea to deck to client to sold to production to, you know what I mean? Like, how am I taking this concept in my brain and passing it through all these like ropes? But
So, yeah, off of that, how do you deal with delegation and hiring? I guess goes akin to that.
um, I'd say it's still a learning curve. I think it's going to take me like 10 years to figure that out like
Yeah.
fully. It's the hardest part of business, I think. Um, Especially if your goal isn't just money. I think that can be a little easier because it's just data. You just got to look at like what's working and what's not. But when you're talking about creative, I think for our process, what we've been doing a lot of, and I mean, even like, one of my like main dudes, Tyler, he was here for like probably the longest, and he's now running the whole product development side, and working with all our clients and our in-house brands and building those teams. But he flew out here on his own dime from Michigan, got an Airbnb for a month, and had no pay. And like, I'm a very fair person. I make sure everyone can eat, and if we win, everyone wins. But I think it was the best way to show if someone's going to be a hard worker and how dedicated they are and how much they actually like fuck with the whole vision that we're doing here. Because I mean, it was just a no pay thing. Come up for a month and like, this is what I want you to do, and I want you to soak up stuff. And I couldn't even get to 7 days without giving him a salary because he proved himself. You know what I mean? So, and we've been kind of like repeating that method with a lot of new hires, especially with brand managers for the clients we have. It's just, and it's working. People are like, they see the whole picture, they get what we're trying to do here, and they're willing to come out here and prove to me and prove to the team like what they're capable of doing. And then, the second that I feel like this is a good fit, it's like, yeah, you're getting paid, and you're going to get paid well.